Welcome back to Bike Culture Hub. When you think of Honda's mini motos, the first images that usually come to mind are fun, quirky, compact machines that blend urban practicality with a playful riding spirit. For decades, Honda has been the leader in this segment with iconic models like the Monkey, the Grom, and the original Gorilla. In 2026, Honda decided to revive the cheeky little legend in a new, more refined form, the Honda Gorilla 125. Today, we'll dive deep into what makes this bike stand out in a crowded market of small displacement motorcycles, and why it might just be one of the most fun and surprisingly capable bikes you can buy this year. The Gorilla 125 isn't just a modern reinterpretation of a classic, it's Honda's way of bridging nostalgia with cutting-edge design and everyday usability. From the moment you see it, the bike draws you in with its retro-inspired yet muscular stance. It's compact, no doubt, but it carries itself with presence. The proportions are chunkier compared to the Monkey 125, giving it that rugged, almost toy-like but tough aesthetic that earned the original Gorilla its cult status back in the 1970s and 80s. The circular headlamp is LED now, framed with a slightly thicker bezel, which adds to its retro charm while ensuring modern brightness. The tank is iconic, bulbous, solid, and painted in striking color options that include Honda's classic candy red, gloss black, and a bright yellow that really harks back to the Gorilla's heritage. There's a playful side to the Gorilla, but also a purposeful one. The frame looks reinforced, the seat is a touch wider, and the bars are taller, giving it a different stance compared to its sibling, the Monkey. Underneath the cheeky bodywork lies a reliable and fuel-efficient 124 cubic centimeters air-cooled, single-cylinder engine, shared in essence with the Monkey and the Grom but tuned slightly differently for the Gorilla's character. It produces around 9 horsepower and close to 10 Nm of torque, which may not sound like much on paper, but when paired with its extremely light 105 kg weight, the performance is plenty for urban commuting and backroad fun. The Gorilla is not about blistering top speed, it tops out around 95 km per hour, depending on rider weight and conditions, but about delivering effortless, grin-inducing torque at lower speeds. In city traffic, the bike feels sprightly, zipping between cars, squeezing through tight alleys, and pulling away from stoplights with surprising eagerness. Out on the backroads, it hums along happily, and while it's not meant for highways, it will cruise comfortably at 70 to 80 km per hour without feeling stressed. Honda gave the Gorilla a 5-speed manual transmission, which is a nice step up from the old 4-speed setups of past mini motos. This gives the rider a bit more flexibility, especially on inclines or when stretching its legs. The clutch action is light, making it beginner-friendly, while still offering enough engagement for experienced riders who like to play with gear changes. The fueling is handled by Honda's PGMFI system, which ensures smooth throttle response and efficiency. In fact, Honda claims the Gorilla 125 can achieve fuel economy figures in the range of 65 to 70 km per liter, depending on riding style. That means you can practically ride all week on a single small tank, making it one of the most cost-effective bikes to run. Handling is where the Gorilla really shines. Thanks to its short wheelbase and compact proportions, it feels nimble and incredibly easy to control. The wide handlebars provide excellent leverage, letting you flick it from side to side with just a light touch. This makes it ideal for urban environments where agility matters most. The suspension setup is slightly beefier compared to the Monkey. 31 mm upside-down forks at the front and twin shocks at the rear, tuned for a bit more stiffness. This means the Gorilla handles potholes and rough patches better, making it more versatile for less-than-perfect roads. The 12-inch wheels, wrapped in chunky tires, give it stability, and Honda made sure to provide good braking power with disc brakes at both ends, complete with ABS as standard. One of the most interesting aspects of the Gorilla 125 is its riding ergonomics. While small, it's not cramped. The seat is positioned low at around 775 mm, making it accessible for riders of all heights, and the slightly raised handlebars give you a more upright riding posture compared to the Monkey. This means longer rides are less fatiguing, and you don't feel as folded up. The seat itself is generously padded, more than you'd expect for a bike this size, which adds to the comfort. For taller riders, the Gorilla feels a touch roomier than the Monkey, which is a subtle but important distinction. Technology-wise, Honda kept things minimal yet modern. The Gorilla features a fully digital LCD display, compact but clear, showing speed, fuel level, trip meter, and gear position indicator. It doesn't overload you with information, but it gives just enough for daily use. There's also a neat touch with the LED indicators and taillight, keeping the bike stylish and contemporary. Honda offers optional accessories too, things like rear racks, crash bars, and even off-road style tires, which allow you to customize the Gorilla to fit your riding style. Speaking of style, this is one of the Gorilla's biggest selling points. The design is instantly recognizable, with nods to the past but executed with a modern twist. It's not just a motorcycle, it's a fashion statement, a conversation starter. Park it on the street, and people will stop and ask about it, especially older riders who remember the original Gorilla. Younger riders, on the other hand, see it as a fun, approachable bike that breaks away from the seriousness of larger machines. This mix of nostalgia and modern appeal is part of what makes the Gorilla 125 such a unique offering in 2026. But here's the thing, don't mistake the Gorilla for just a novelty. It has real-world usability. For city riders who want something cheap to run, reliable, and easy to park, this makes perfect sense. For enthusiasts who already own bigger bikes, the Gorilla is the perfect second machine, something to ride when you just want to relax, or when you're heading out for a casual coffee run. It's also a fantastic beginner bike for those just entering motorcycling, because it's unintimidating yet teaches the fundamentals of clutch, gears, and road awareness. Honda has priced the 2026 Gorilla 125 competitively, starting around $3,699 in most markets, slightly undercutting some of its rivals while staying close to the Monkey's price range. Considering Honda's reliability, the excellent fuel economy, and the sheer fun factor, it's a price that feels very fair. Plus, the resale value of mini motos like this tends to hold strong, since there's always demand from collectors and riders who appreciate their charm. Of course, no bike is perfect. The Gorilla 125 won't satisfy those who need highway performance or who want to carry a passenger regularly. It's very much a single-rider machine. The small wheels, while fun in cities, can feel a little twitchy at higher speeds, and storage is practically non-existent unless you add accessories. But these compromises are part of what gives it character. It's not meant to be everything to everyone, it's meant to be a small, fun, expressive motorcycle that brings joy to the act of riding. The Gorilla's unique selling points come down to three things. First, its heritage. It's a revival of a name that carries decades of charm and nostalgia. Second, its style. This bike is instantly recognizable, blending rugged mini proportions with retro-modern details that make it stand out. And third, its fun factor. If you're someone who values fun and individuality in your motorcycle, the Gorilla 125 deserves a serious look. It's not just a commuter. It's not just a novelty. It's a genuine motorcycle with real character, wrapped up in a small package that brings big smiles. That's our deep dive into the 2026 Honda Gorilla 125. A bike that's part nostalgia, part practicality, and entirely fun. If you're considering a small motorcycle that stands out from the crowd, this might just be the perfect one for you. Thanks for tuning in to Bike Culture Hub, and as always, keep the passion alive, ride safe, and we'll see you in the next review.